right, welcome back. It's been a feels like it's been a little while, but Gannon had a baseball trip, so we recorded at the end of last week or the weekend before, so we had that all out of the way. And last week was kind of like an off week, honestly. But welcome back to another episode of season 2 with the Art of Football 365. Now, as many of you already know, we are on YouTube now, so Gronk spike the subscribe button, hit the like button as many times as Patty Mahomes has thrown a touchdown this season, which is, like we mentioned, it's a lot. And he's playing in the Super Bowl today, so tune into that and leave a comment just like Troy Aikman does every time Joe Buck makes 0 cents. All right, so I want to start this off, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun on this week's Monday episode. And I want to say, Gannon's kind of been on the road the last couple days in Texas for baseball. So we're just to lighten the load a little bit. We want to have him kind of talk a little bit about his baseball trip, and then we'll dive into our segment for this week. So Gannon, kind of explain to our audience how Texas was.
Yeah, as we talked about back in probably December with the mental stuff going on with baseball, this was my first official college trip and my first official college baseball game. So it was cool. I was just trying to soak in a lot of it. We left on Wednesday morning. We stopped in Oklahoma, had a team practice there, and then got into Dallas Wednesday night, and then got up on Thursday, and then drove through Austin and then Waco, which got to see a little bit of the Texas and Baylor campuses with their football stadium. So that was kind of cool. And then pulled into San Antonio Thursday afternoon. It was about 82 degrees and sunny. So you can't beat that. We had a nice practice. And then we had 2 games on Friday and 2 games on Saturday. And we won both of them. And we ended up scoring 48 runs in 4 games. And the first game was a 1-run game. We scored in the 7th inning. And came in and our closer got the save in the bottom of the 7th, and then our offense erupted, which is our strong suit of our team. So it was a fun weekend. Friday was a little chilly. It was right around 60 degrees. So for Texas, that was cold. And then Saturday it was 75, 80. And then we had a 16-hour bus trip. I just got in this morning about 9, 10 o'clock, which is Sunday now. So got a little nap in and then rested up for this podcast. It was fun, man. Got to just there's some cool memories and bonds that you create on the bus trip when you're together that long.
Sure.
And you're with your team the whole time and you're eating food and you're just doing different type of stuff. And it was really fun to be able to be with the guys. And we're rolling right now. We're preseason 10th in the country right now. And this team was receiving votes in San Antonio that we played. And we have a top 15 matchup this coming weekend out in Oklahoma City. So that'll be fun to see. And we're rolling right now. So it's going to be a fun season. And it was a good start to the season for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to include that in there and just kind of have you tell our audience a little bit about what you're up to. And you mentioned food, but I think after this podcast, you should get some food and you get some energy. You sound pretty groggy today.
I'm a little out of it, but this is definitely going to wake me up, get the little sports talk in my veins will be pumped up, and then the Super Bowl's coming on, so can't beat that.
Super Bowl Sunday. So today we kind of want to sit back and discuss the outlook for NFL teams next season and give our Super Bowl predictions. The last 2 episodes, we've kind of dove back into my ideas for being a football coach. Now I want to have a little fun and talk about NFL teams that I'm interested to see next season. So pretty much the contents of this episode will include Super Bowl predictions, free agency trade predictions, the outlook for NFL teams next season, even way too early Super Bowl predictions for next season, which obviously, as you know, there's going to be plenty of moves that happen this offseason that could definitely determine how a team turns into next season. So that's a way too early thing, but just have a little fun with it. And I also want to do a little thing that goes what we want to see versus what we think we will see based on an NFL season. What we want to see is pretty much based on like our favorite players, our favorite teams, like what we want to see in the NFL this season. And then that is versus what we think we will see based on every other team in the NFL. Kind of like how like you don't want to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl this year, but you are. So that's kind of like what we think we will see. And then we'll pretty much add in there anything else that we want to add in there. So I actually want to start this off by bringing out my phone and looking at all the people that did some predictions for us for the Super Bowl. And I think we had around 19 people that slid up and gave us predictions. And the reason I did this is kind of have a little giveaway, a little fun. So the person who is closest to the score and the correct team and picks the Super Bowl MVP correctly or whoever's closest to it will get a free bracelet, Art of Football bracelet that we have. By the way, they're still for sale, so if you want to hit us up and grab one of those, go ahead and do that. But you also get $5 off your T-shirt when our merch drops. So I thought that'd be a little interesting thing to throw in there, and kind of like I said, going into season 2, I wanted to get our fans involved, so I want to get the audience involved more, and this is kind of a fun way to do it. So I'm going to list off these predictions. We'll start with, we got Ronnie Valentine. He's an interesting guy. Gannon and I both know that. But he's going with the Buccaneers, 31-38. And he's picking the MVP to be Tom Brady. And then we're going to go with my cousin, Maverick Seaton. He picked the Buccaneers 34-31, and he's got Rob Gronkowski for the MVP.
A little wild card right there.
A little sleeper pick. I like it. All right, and then we got Carter Budens, who is my roommate. He's a diehard Tom Brady to the grave type of guy, and he's rolling with the Bucs, 43-35. Tom Brady MVP. So our first three predictions that we've gotten have been Bucs. And the next one we got Braden Fyock, who he played Freeport Sticks baseball with Gannon and I, and he's rolling with the Chiefs. Our first Chiefs pick, 38-27, and he's got Travis Kelce for the MVP, which is
that's what I like to hear right there.
It's very possible, very possible. And then we got Cameron Bardell. He's rolling with the Chiefs, 38-27, and he's got Mahomes MVP. So pretty basic, pretty simple. I mean, it's a pretty honest pick right there, honestly. And then we got Mari Roby. He is rolling with – he didn't put a team. He only put 35-31, so –
that takes him out of it.
Yeah, he's out of it right away. So we're going to – and then we got Tyler Reinhart, my other roommate. He's rolling with the Chiefs, 35-28. And Patrick Mahomes to be the MVP. And we got Fabian Cashaw, who is from Freeport, and he's rolling with the Bucs 30-24. He, however, did not pick an MVP, so he is out of it as well. And then we got Jacob Sallers, who picked the Chiefs 27 and the Bucs 24. So he's rolling with the Chiefs in this game with Mahomes as the MVP. And then we got Michael Barrentes is rolling with the Chiefs 31-24. Patty Mahomes MVP. And then we have Trevor Tipp. He's rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 41-34 with Mike Evans as the MVP. That's a name we haven't seen yet, which, I mean, the dude can ball. He's definitely shown that, so we'll see what can happen. And then we got the next one. Our next one is Tej Crothers picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 42-38, but did not pick an MVP. That's tough. These people are forgetting the MVP, but oh well, I guess. And then my uncle Jason, he's rolling with the Chiefs 35-29, and he's got Patty Mahomes as the MVP. And then we got Stan Lee Riley from Stockton is rolling with the Chiefs 27-21, and he says, my boy Patty Mahomes is going to be the MVP. And then we got Eli. He's rolling with the Bucs 33-28, and he says the MVP will be the GOAT. You know exactly who he's talking about. And he also wanted to throw in another prediction in there saying that Gronk will score twice. That's his bold prediction. Then we got Austin Steele. He's rolling with the Chiefs 45-35. Patrick Mahomes MVP. And that's what we got so far. So I put a deadline on that. So whoever entered right there, whoever's closest to it will get the free bracelet, and we'll get $5 off their first piece of merch that we're selling. So now let's dive into our Super Bowl predictions, Ruckman. Who do you got? And score and MVP.
I mean, kind of before we get into the actual picking of this game, I think it's going to be a good game. You know, I'm not a big Tom Brady guy. Obviously, I'm going to acknowledge his greatness and respect the man to death, but obviously I'm not a huge fan of the man. And I know they're in Tampa, and he's just got another another milestone he's trying to check off, being the only other quarterback than Peyton Manning to win to a Super Bowl with two different teams. I just don't see the Kansas City Chiefs offense getting slowed down. They probably will get slowed down because Tampa Bay's got a good defense, but I just don't see Kansas City and Pat Mahomes taking no for an answer and getting beat in the Super Bowl. They came out against the Bills 2 weeks ago and looked like they had something to prove again, that as people were giving them crap about being bored and just kind of screwing around and not taking stuff serious through the regular season. They came out and that game was not close at all. And those guys are – I go to school 2 hours away from Kansas City, so I hear the Red Kingdom stuff every day, as you can see the Chiefs flag in the back with my roommate here. But Pat Mahomes had a couple more weeks now to rest his turf toe, which was more important than his concussion back in the AFC Championship game. And Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, I'm not sure if he's playing. I know he was questionable as a game-time decision.
He'll play.
And, their defense got some pressure on Josh Allen in that game, and nobody really talks about that. I know that they're not a top 3 defense or whatever, but they got the Honey Badger control on the backside at safety. Chandler Jones, I think, is an X factor on the defensive side, getting pressure on Tom Brady, because we know if he gets pressure, he cannot move, and he just sits in the pocket.
I'd watch
That's
out
going to be
for
a big
Frank Clark.
Yeah, so they seem to have a timely defense is kind of what I think with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not always the best sound one from start to finish, but they're clutch, and when they need to get a stop, they can. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. If the Chiefs offense is going to play, even the 80% of what they're capable of, even with a good defense, I think this is going to be a 2-score game. And I'm going 42-28 the Kansas City Chiefs. And obviously, I think a lot of the players are going to have big days. But if they're scoring 6 or 7 touchdowns, you're gonna have to go with Pat Mahomes as the MVP. But I think the X factor for them, who's gonna have a big day, is Tyreek Hill on the offensive side. His name kind of gets lost in the shuffle as a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, and he's had a hell of a year. He didn't go as in and out for 200 yards and then a no-show for 2 games. I'm still amazed how the man gets it done at being 5'6", 5'7", and can still go beat any cornerback in the league. So that's kind of my predictions. This offense they win this game right here. You're going to start seeing a dynasty built here with the Chiefs. Somehow the front office with the Kansas City Chiefs is getting all these players signed under contracts, and pretty much a small market team compared to somebody like in LA or New York. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Chiefs in this one.
All right. I like it. I was just doing a little bit of research quick just to look at I know I'm rolling with the Bucks. All right. And obviously, I think it's a storied career for Tom Brady. He's up there in age, and for him to make it to the bowl his first year in the NFC, beating them Green Bay Packers. Yep, you heard me. I think it's special, and I don't think he's done a whole lot necessarily this season. I just think his team has rallied behind his automatic leadership that he brings, and his accountability that he brings, and his presence in the room makes players want to play for him. And him making the Super Bowl, I think they're going to go out and ball for him. I think the Chiefs are going to ball too. I think it's going to be a shootout. I honestly think, and if it's not a shootout, then I think the Chiefs will win, because the Bucks are going to have to put up points to win this game, a good amount of points, not just probably not 17 or 24, probably
30
close to 30, yeah, 30 or more than likely, I'd say. So I'm going to roll with the Bucks, 38, Chiefs 34. 38-34. I'm going to roll with the Bucks, and I'm going to pick an MVP for the Bucks that nobody's going to mention probably, and that is Devin White. Devin White, the linebacker who is on the Bucks, and he had a couple injuries during the year, but he is one hell of a linebacker, and I think he could be a big difference maker in this ball game. I think you might see an interception, you might see a fumble recovery, I think he's going to have a spark on that defensive side of the football game. I think he's going to come to play. So I'm going to roll Bucks 38, Chiefs 34, and I'm going to say Devin White MVP.
And I think one more thing here with Tom Brady, like you were saying about that shootout, if he cannot keep up throwing the ball and he throws the ball like he did against the Green Bay Packers, this game will not. The game won't be close. That's why I'm thinking the 2 scores unless something just magically happens, which stranger things have happened with the Tom Brady in the Super Bowl is just a couple years ago with the Atlanta Falcons. But just my one X factor for the Tampa Bay Bucks is Leonard Fournette. I really wasn't sure what he was going to do when they cut him at Jacksonville, obviously for James Robinson, who had a hell of a year. But I listened to a couple of his interviews in the with the Pat McAfee show, and he's just having fun, and he's just is really embracing the role with them. I think he might be over 100 yards today on the ground. That's kind of my bold prediction for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I think it's going to be one hell of a game. And my final point before we move into some other stuff is if Tom Brady throws one interception, they have a shot. If Tom Brady throws two interceptions, Chiefs win. That's my final prediction for this game. So we've got the Super Bowl stuff out of the way. I mean, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We want to have some fun. Should be a good game. Let's hope for that. But now I want to dive into some free agency and trade predictions. We already happened to see Matt Stafford and Jared Goff switch teams, which was a blockbuster trade. Kind of shook the NFL with the haul that the Lions got to unload Goff's contract. So I'll just talk a couple predictions, and I'll start with mine. I honestly think there's going to be a lot of quarterback movement in this offseason. I think you're going to be shocked to see how many quarterbacks switch teams. Like I was shocked to see the Stafford trade because you don't often see quarterbacks.
It was quick.
It
that
was
happened quick.
It was, and you don't often see two quarterbacks flip teams in a deal. More than likely, teams making a trade for a quarterback because they don't have one, or they're signing them in as a free agent. They're not normally swapping quarterbacks. But my next prediction is I'm going to go with Carson Wentz going to the Bears. And I think I say that just because I know not a single Bears fan I know wants this to happen. And I would love to see it. And I say that just because I've seen Wentz in our division being a Cowboys fan, and I don't think he has anything left in the tank. I really don't. I hope to see him revive his career because he was fun to watch. I hope he can stay healthy. I hope all that for him. But I think he'll either be shipped to the Bears or the Colts, and I don't think Philly's going to get much of a haul for him. I really don't. And I think Philly, what's going to happen with Philly is they're going to deal Wentz, and then they're going to have Ertz. And I love Jalen Hurts. I think he had a decent end of the season last year when he got put into the fold for Philly. But I don't think he's a bona fide starter. I don't. And I don't think he will be in his career. And I think Philly's going to regret moving on with Wentz pretty early. That's what I think. I also think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get traded this offseason. I've seen a couple of rumors of Jimmy Garoppolo for Kirk Cousins with a couple picks and stuff involved because Kirk Cousins, Kyle Shanahan who coaches the 49ers, has ties with Kirk Cousins from his Washington days and wants to get Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. So you could very well see that as well. And then my team. I think the Cowboys are going to miss on re-signing Dak, and I think they're going to have to franchise tag him, which I think is going to upset Dak quite a bit, and I think he's going to hold out for a while. I don't think they're going to get this deal done on time, and I think they're going to tag him, which I'm going to hate to see that because I think he should get his bread. But, yeah, those are three predictions of mine so far, so I'm going to let Gannon kind of mention a couple of his.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of jump into that Cowboys thing. You know, if you're the Cowboys front office, I can't really blame them jumping into re-signing Dak this quick. I understand that the recovery and the surgeries are way different this time of the year with just the medical research and all that. But I would – if I was a Cowboys guy right now, I'd be franchising to tag him. Obviously, they should have got him locked up before this, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Way before.
I think the franchise tag is really smart here because you still don't know what you're going to get. Even a guy that's in his mid to late 20s who's really athletic and is a hell of a player. You know, I'm pulling for the man, but, you know, kind of going over a couple of the recaps here, you know, I think that I know we talked a lot about the Stafford and the golf swap for the Lions and the Rams. I think it's a fair trade for both sides. You know, there's a couple Lions fans on my team here.
Hey, hold up one sec. I just got a notification. Sammy Watkins is active for today's
He is active. Well, that's in every playoff game I saw. Every playoff game he's been active for the Chiefs. He's had over 100 yards. So
and Antonio Brown, Cameron Brate, and LaShawn McCoy are all active for the Bucs.
There we go. But yeah, with the Lions thing, you know, I just thought that they were going to get a lot of picks back. You know, and I know they're eating a lot of money with Jared Goff, but I don't think Jared Goff's done it all. And, you know, he's a good player. He's a good quarterback with tight ends, and they got a hell of a tight end in Detroit with T.J. Hockenson, a guy that I've watched since his sophomore year at Iowa. He's a hell of a tight end. I mean, he was a Pro Bowler this year, so I think that's going to work out good for both sides. But watch out for the L.A. Rams. Man, Matt Stafford with that offense and Sean McVay.
I agree.
It's going to be disgusting. But The thing that I want to talk about here is on the Desean Watson stuff. There's been a lot of stuff. There's so much speculation with that. There's some comments about Brett Favre saying people are getting paid too much money that you should just, he didn't say it, but kind of just shut up and play. And, in a lot of situations, I'd agree with him on that. But Desean Watson has done everything for Houston, and he's gotten absolutely nothing in return with getting rid of D-Hop for
dirt.
You don't even need to talk. That just pisses me off, and I don't even care about the Texans. But this is going to be really interesting to see. I think they're going to want a lot in return. And I think the only way this deal is going to get done is if they get another quarterback in return that's starter and a young. And that's why I think the Miami Dolphins and Desean Watson are going to get this deal done, or the Houston Texans will get the deal done because they'll want Tua to be a young starting quarterback for them.
I think that would be interesting to see.
I think that's the only way Houston's going to do this deal. And then if not, you're going to see a big-time holdout here with Desean Watson demanding this trade, because I know Houston has come out in the last couple of days saying we're not trading him. We want Desean Watson as our quarterback. Mm-hmm. Well, you've done nothing in the last 3 or 4 years
to show that you want him.
To show support, and he's still going out in the community and donating millions of dollars to homeless people and scholarships and all that. And it's just sad to see, because I love Desean Watson. He's a good player. And if they would have kept some stuff together there in Houston, they might have had a little different outlook. But that's also the Bill O'Brien effect too. But, I think it's going to be some weird stuff. And my other big thing here, I don't know exactly a specific person, but I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to go out and make a move for a top-end wideout. They need to.
I was just about to bring that up.
They have to. They have one of the worst wide receiving crews in football. It is.
Who do you think they're going to go get? Because I got mine right now in the back of my head.
Man, it's
all right. I'll tell you mine first. Kenny Galladay, free agent.
That's a good, and that's not an overly expensive one there.
He'll get his bread, but at the end of the day, I think Galladay and Lamar could be. I mean, you throw the ball up to him. He's an X factor type of guy. Like, you go up over the top receiver. I honest to God think that'd be a perfect move for them. I've seen that floating around the rumor mill for quite some time.
Yeah, and then just one more thing about the free agency stuff that we talked about a lot, and this was for the Bears fans and all of our listeners back home. If I was a Bears fan, I would not want Desean Watson, not because of the player himself and how
you're going to give up a haul.
You're going to be damaged for the next 10 to 15 years with your front office, which they already are a little bit, but the amount of picks you already saw with Matt Stafford is there's been tweets and memes about giving up your whole family.
You're gonna give up an arm, a leg.
Yeah, you're literally just gonna have your torso of your body left if you give up for Desean Watson, and that's why I don't think it's. At the end of the day, I still think it's still somewhat of a safe bet, and you're going to be able to save your draft picks and stuff if you're still going to want to write out Mr. Trubisky, And a lot of people are saying Desean Watson's going to be the X factor that takes him to the Super Bowl, which. That's not how it is. The Bears have a lot more other problems on both sides of the ball in their coaching staff and their front office. Desean Watson is not going to solve all your problems. What are they doing with Allen Robinson right now? They don't have a wide receiver too.
Anthony Miller. That's another
Anthony Miller hasn't.
The Ravens could go for.
Yeah, because he's been fed up and pissed off with the Bears. I just think there's a lot more issues there than just the quarterback, and people are just getting caught up in Desean Watson. And talking to some of my Bears fans that keep up with football day in, day out, they agree with me on this, and I just don't think Desean Watson's the right move for them right now.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think, like you said, all you'd have left is your torso, because honest to God, they got a defense right now, and in order to get Desean Watson, you're probably going to be giving up a Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, a first-round pick, 2 first-round picks, maybe even 3. Like, you don't know.
That's 4 or 5 years down the road.
It is. But my next prediction is Von Miller getting cut by the Broncos this offseason. I know he's got some off the field trouble right now. I don't know exactly what it is, but
yeah, it's more legal stuff.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get cut with his contract and stuff. I think he'll get cut. But I also want to bring up your Packers, because Aaron Jones is a free agent. So my prediction, I sent this to you the other day. I saw a tweet about it. And I think they should let Aaron Jones walk. And here's why. Firsthand, I've seen what happens with running backs. I see it with my team and Ezekiel Elliott. I hope to God the dude can bounce back. But we paid the man $90 million. Now, Aaron Jones isn't going to command $90 million, but he's going to command top running back dollars. And I just don't think the Packers should be dishing out that type of money, especially with the offseason trouble they're going to have with Rodgers and trying to restructure that contract and extend him and spend their money in wise ways to keep him happy. I think
I agree.
you got to let him walk, and I think maybe you sign Jamal Williams back, and maybe second or third round running back. You take a look at guys
Yeah,
like the Ohio State running back. You got Najee Harris. He'll probably be a first round pick though.
yeah,
First
Trey
round, second
Sermon.
round.
Trey Sermon.
Yup.
You're going to need somebody to compliment AJ Dillon because AJ Dillon has impressed me
Him
quite a
too.
bit.
Yeah, he's there.
He just can't be an every down back, but I agree with you on that because we got Corey Linsley, who is one of the top centers in the game right now that needs to be paid, and he's going to get paid like a top 5 lineman in the league. Packers got a lot of question marks coming in, but one thing, I don't know, I'll hold that off to the next thing here for the outlook. Or are we just jumping into this outlook for the NFL teams?
In a minute, I got one more prediction
All
for the Packers. The Green Bay Packers are going to trade for J.J. Watt this offseason.
That's bold. That's real bold.
And if it's not the Packers, I really firmly believe J.J. Watt's going to get traded this offseason. But I think it'd be respectful of the Texans to ship him out because I think here's what's going to happen: if they don't deal Watson and they hold on to him and he decides to play, I think they'll keep J.J. Watt. But if they trade Watson, I think that's when they're going to blow things up. And then
they got to then.
Yeah, once Watson's gone, you got to blow it up. And I think that's when Watt will say, "All right, can you send me home to Wisconsin?" And I think they'll get on the phone with Green Bay and get something done. I mean, I don't even think they'll have to give up that much. He's older. I think maybe a second.
He's injury prone.
Injury prone, second and a fourth, and maybe a player. Second, third, maybe around something like that. But I wanted to throw that one in there. And then I had 2 other ones. I have Allen Robinson signing with the Jets because I think the Jets are going to throw money out there. And I think Allen Robinson wants his bag. And I don't think he's going to get it with the Bears. And my last one is Philadelphia Eagles releasing Zach Ertz. They have Dallas Goedert there, and he's played pretty well when Ertz has been down injured. And if they ship out Wentz, I mean, why not try to save some more money by cutting a older vet in a tight end who's battled some injuries the last couple of years and it hasn't been the same player he's used to being. So those are our predictions for free agency. And now I kind of want to go into the outlook for NFL teams this season or next season. So let's just list off our top 3 teams. Like let's rank top 5. Who do we think our top 5 teams will be next season? That's what we'll do for outlook.
And both are just overall both conferences.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, no particular order. I mean, you're gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, they're not losing anybody. You're gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. You're gonna have to go with the Tampa Bay Bucks because Tom Brady's not going anywhere. And then it gets tough because honestly, deep down, I want to say my Packers, but it's still going to be tough. I still think they're going to be the favorite to win the NFC North because the North is not doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
But that gets tough after that. The Rams are really interesting in that NFC West because holy crap, Russell Wilson just went like this the second
dropped
half
off a cliff. I saw before you continue. I saw a tweet today from Ian Rappaport, and he was quoting a tweet on some NFL reporter said teams checked in on Russell Wilson to see if the Seattle Seahawks would be interested in trading him. And Ian Rappaport quoted the tweet and said, "I guess this is what the kids think shooting your shot means." They said, not interested. But yeah, he did fall off a cliff.
So I got the Chiefs, Bills, and Bucks. And then, they got about 3 teams in the mix right here. This is my wild card. I'm a big Baker guy. I think the Browns are going to be in the top 5 because they had a little momentum coming down here. And I think Kevin Stefanski's a hell of a coach. And obviously shout out to him for being the NFL Coach of the Year just announced last night. But I think they're going to be right around there. And then it's either going to come down to the Packers or Rams, I think. And I'll just go with the Rams just to stay unbiased so people don't get mad about the Packers talk. But that Rams offense is going to be very interesting. And I mean, they still got a legit defense. I mean, it's going to be fun to see Matt Stafford being able to work with Sean McVay and having some weapons around him and being in Southern Cal in some warm weather. It's going to be fun to watch with Stafford. I'm going to be kind of glad he's out of the NFC North because he hasn't always beat the Packers, but he's given the Packers a lot of fits in a lot of games, and those are sometimes our closest games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. My number 1 team, Chiefs. 2, Bills. 3, I'm more than likely gonna go with the Packers at 3, and then at 4, I'm gonna say the Ravens. I'm liking the AFC, and then for 5, I'm gonna go Rams. So that's my top 5, and that's kind of a little look into our outlook for next season.
No,
So
there's no Bucks.
no Bucks.
Not even with the defense.
Nope, no Bucks. No Bucks. I'd say top 8 for them probably. But I don't know. I don't know.
That defense is the defense is good. They're young.
Oh, and they're
Antoine
young. They're young
Winfield
too.
at safety too. It's
Oh yeah. But and then way too early Super Bowl predictions for next year. Way too early. But just to have fun with it, I'm gonna go Bills. I think the Bills are gonna finally get in next year. I'm gonna go Bills Packers, which was my prediction going into this year. I'm gonna rock with the Bills beating the Packers. What do you got?
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs because I think they're gonna be going for their 3rd straight Super Bowl, and I mean at the end of the day, I'm still gonna ride with my Packers, even though it's heartbreak after heartbreak each year with falling short. But Aaron Rodgers is still gonna come back. He just got his 3rd career MVP last night. He's one of 5 or 6 quarterbacks ever, and the Packers have 2 quarterbacks with that. And again, 2 Super Bowls to show for that in 30 plus years. But everybody knows that, and people make fun of it. It doesn't hurt me. I mean, it hurts
Aaron
me
Rodgers and Rex Grossman are in the same conversation.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, for one stat, that's all together. But no, I think it's gonna be Packers Chiefs, and I think the Packers are gonna get it done. That's just because it's. I'd like to see that, but that's way too early. It will not happen.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, that kind of leads us into what we want to see versus what we think we'll see.
Yeah.
What I want to see is my Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. That's a dream. That's a dream, is what it is. Because we have no defense, none whatsoever. But what I want to see is a string of moves in the offseason. Hopefully, sign Dak to a long-term contract. Hopefully, go out and add to this defense, and hopefully have a good draft. I hope we use this 10th pick wisely. And if nobody's there that we want, I hope we trade back and accumulate a couple more picks in the 2nd or 3rd round. And then what I think I will see, based on what I want to see, I think I will see a defense that has not improved that much. And I think I will see Dak Prescott coming back and having a comeback player of the year type of year. That's what I want to see versus what I think I'll see.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just stick with the Packers here with this one. What I want to see is we go out and spend some money. The big thing that a lot of Packers fans forget, and a lot of people around the NFL don't forget, is we signed Devin Funchess from the Carolina Panthers a year ago, and he opted out because of COVID. So I think he's going to come in, and with Allen Lazard and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, that's 4 guys that are good. We need to go out and either get a veteran guy or draft somebody to be a slot wide receiver, because we got Robert Tonyan at tight end. We'll have somewhat of a running game. What I'd like to see is to go get somebody, not a specific guy. I haven't thought about that a lot, but just, our GM came out and said that he's going to be all in these next 3 or 4 years in the press conferences about getting Rodgers one more ring. And I don't believe it. You can say all you want, but we have not done it. We just hired a new defensive coordinator the other day.
Jordan Love.
What we want to see is a good defense that's in and out, or that's not in and out every game, that looks like a reliable defense some games, and then other drives and then it looks like they can't even stop a JUCO football team. But what I will see will still be the same Packers defense year in, year out. Until something changes from the 2010 team when I saw Nick Collins pick off Ben Roethlisberger in the Super Bowl and return it for a pick 6, which was 10 years ago yesterday, which makes me feel old. But I think the Packers are going to be right up there again, and what I think we'll see is going to be the same thing. There's going to be a lot of hype. We'll be 13-3, 12-4, win the NFC North, which is good and all, but there's no playoff success. And I think some of that blame comes down on Aaron Rodgers, and not a lot of people are talking about that. Man's had a hell of a career, but he still has to take it up another level in the playoffs. But, another thing I want to see is Dak Prescott, like you said, bounce back. I love the man to death. He's just a hell of a quarterback, and the NFL's better. The NFL's better when the Cowboys are playing well and are in playoff contention. It's America's team.
It's a circus.
It's whatever you want to see it. You know, down through the Dallas area this week and down through the whole Texas area, there's a lot of Cowboy stuff, and there's a lot of pressure on there. I don't know if your boy Mike McCarthy's up for the challenge.
All right. Yep, we'll save that conversation for a later date. But no, this was fun. Just a little fun discussion, and we'll get back to some ideas next week. But wanted to give Gannon an easy episode after traveling and kind of just sit back, relax, and talk some football on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Kick back.
Yep.
Have your friends make you some food. Don't do anything today. Absolutely nothing. Park yourself on the couch, lay back, and enjoy this ball game. So we'll catch you guys next weekend. Or next weekend. What am I
let me get
you go ahead and do it. I'm dysfunctional right now. That's all you.
So yeah, well, this episode will be dropping Monday, and then we'll be having a nice special guest, I think, for Friday's drop. A lot of people around the 815 area will know the name and be kind of cool to hear his story. And until then, you know, catch up on some of our past videos. Keep liking, viewing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. And if you don't like the video stuff, also check out our links. Was it Linktree or Linkfree, whatever the account?
Linktree, yes sir.
Linktree, that has all of our social media stuff on one easy access. And leave us a comment on our video so Bryce and I can improve. You know, hit us up on social media, anything that we can improve. And just thank you guys for your continued support, and enjoy the Super Bowl, guys.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, it's been great to have our fans raving about us like Ray Lewis lately. So,
and then one more thing, we want to shout out Keegan Gyland for the clip art for the cover art of our YouTube video with Luke Norman. That was a hell of a job, and it was really cool to get everything incorporated on that.
Yeah, shout out Keegan Gyland for sure. But kind of a little upset you missed my little thing that I said. I was kind of trying to be a little funny, but I guess it wasn't.
What'd you say?
I said we appreciate our fans. They've been raving about us like Ray Lewis.
Oh God, Ray Lewis. Yeah. That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah. All right, so we'll catch you guys Friday. Enjoy this episode Monday, and good luck. Whoever's closest to winning will get that free bracelet and $5 off their T-shirt. So, like Gannon said, we'll catch you guys soon, and hopefully we see a Gronk spike today in the end zone, and
go Chiefs.
We get a Gronk spike in that end zone today. I expect you guys to Gronk spike the subscribe button. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Appreciate it.